So the Stone Table is a Great Commission organization that mobilizes believers to make Jesus known at work and around the world. That's our mission statement. We talk marketplace here and we talk missions here, but really we're centered on the gospel here. So I just want to take a minute this week to encourage you because some days, all of the days, we can use a little more encouragement.
Marketplace skills are missionary skills.
So I got one of these new Oura rings for Christmas this year. I don't know if you've seen these things yet, but it's a ring that constantly tracks these specific health data about me. You know, my sleep patterns, my heart rate, my stress levels, this thing called HRV, my calorie burn, all kinds of other stuff. You know, the data has been really interesting so far, though as borderline hypochondriac, kind of the real-time feedback loop can really just end up freaking me out. You know, the heart rate fluctuates at night, so obviously I'm dying, right? You know, my stress levels, they spike at random times, which feels like proof that I'm dying. And then this HRV score, let's just say, I don't really fully understand what that is, but I'm pretty sure it means that I'm dying, right? But in reality, this ring, it needs a long runway before you start noticing any really meaningful patterns. I've been wearing it for a few months now, and it's just beginning to tell a story. And that got me thinking, which is kind of what I do. Yeah, so much of our life is like this, isn't it? We want immediate answers. We want clear signals. We want quick resolutions. But the full story of God's faithfulness in our lives, it really only unfolds over time. And the patterns emerge only when we kind of step back and take a longer view. It's hit me in a fresh way on Sunday when we sang a well-known song at church. And I found myself kind of pausing over a lyric as it came out of my mouth. I sought the Lord, and He heard, and He answered. Now, the refrain repeats that declaration over and over. And while I believe what this song is saying in theory, I started thinking about all of the things that I've been seeking the Lord about in recent weeks, months, even years, that He hasn't answered. You know, I have some very specific data points that seem to kind of contradict what I'm singing. So inside, I was kind of mentally rewriting those lyrics, you know. I sought the Lord. Has He heard? Will He answer? And that's when it hit me. The faithfulness of God, it's not a transaction. It's not one data point. You know, and just like these short-term data points from my Oura ring, the little snapshots, they don't tell the whole story. You have to zoom out and look at the bigger picture and trend lines to really see what is going on. So at dinner last week, my wife and I, we were talking about one of those big worries, something that we've been seeking God about for years with really no clear answer. But then we kind of stepped back and we looked at the past half-century story arc of our lives. Yes, we saw the pain, we saw the struggles, we saw the disappointments, we saw the tragedies. We remembered the gut-wrenching seasons and the sleepless nights and the deep longings that didn't turn out the way we had hoped. You see, those individual data points, they're just momentary markers in kind of this grand unfolding storyline of God's faithfulness to us. You see, looking back, I can see His faithfulness to me so clearly, which always gives me the confidence, friends, to trust Him with whatever is still ahead. And see, listen, he gave His life for you and me. So if He never did anything else, He's already kind of done it all, right? So I posted this on social media last week, and I hope in some way it encourages you in whatever you're facing right now, in your personal life, maybe your business or your work. You see, we weren't promised a life without trouble. In fact, we were pretty clearly promised trouble. Jesus said, in this world, you will have trouble. It's kind of hard to misinterpret that, isn't it? But see, we were promised His presence. He said, I will never leave you or forsake you. We were promised His peace. He said, my peace, I leave it with you. And we were promised his love. Who shall separate us from the love of Christ? We were promised these things in every circumstance. So my encouragement to you today is hang on to Jesus. He's with you and he loves you. Don't get stuck in the individual momentary data points. You have to zoom out and you have to look at the whole story. Jesus gave his life for you. You can call on him. He will hear. He will answer. He's got you. You can trust him today because he is faithful.